go say some. Don't you niggas play dumb. You know where we came from. And you don't want sauce, no A1.
Hey guys, so let's jump right into this foundation updated highlight and contour video. I have no makeup on my face. I have my eyebrows and my eyes done. I've already moisturized, washed, and exfoliated my face, but I'm gonna make a video about that separately. So the first thing you want to do is prime your face. I'm gonna be using the Smashbox primer, and this is gonna make my makeup last all day, especially if you're gonna wear foundation or makeup all over your face. You want a primer so you know it doesn't clog your pores. So let me just put my hair back, and I'm gonna be applying this primer all over my face. I'm just gonna be using maybe 2 little drops, like that much. Next, I'm going to color correct. I'm gonna be using the Orange Corrector by LA Girl. And I'm gonna be putting this around like my mouth and my chin because that area on my face is darker than the rest of my face, and it only shows a lot when I have foundation. It tends to look a little bit grayer than the rest of my face. So I'm gonna put this in that area so that when I put the foundation, you know, my skin doesn't look as gray. And I'm gonna be applying it with the Real Techniques foundation brush. And I'm not gonna put a lot of this because all you need is a little bit and it'll do the job. Okay, so I'm also going to be using this under my eyes to help conceal the dark circles. And yeah, I'm just going to be putting it in this area right there. Okay, so now that I look like a pumpkin, I'm going to put some of this green color on the red spots on my face. So I just got a mosquito bite today, so right there and right there. And this actually is basically the exact same thing that WhatSueSayz sells, which is the ECLIPSE palette. They sell it for like $15, I think, but I got mine at tmart.com and I bought it a few years ago for like $6 or something. So I mean, they're all the same palette. They all come from the same place. They just, you know, put their own label on it. And the website has like, it ranges from like $5 to $7 because it's a bunch of different sellers that sell this palette on the site, and it also comes with a brush. So I think it's really, really great. So I'm gonna be using this green corrector on my red spot so that when I put the foundation on top of the red spot, it doesn't poke through the foundation. Okay, so now for my foundation. I only have one foundation because I don't really wear foundation. I only wear foundation like if I'm going to a really big event like a wedding or a place where I know I'm gonna be photographed a lot, like if they have professional photographers. So this is actually the first foundation I've ever bought and the only foundation I have, which is the Revlon Colorstay foundation. And I have it in 360 Golden Caramel and 370 Toast. And the reason I have these two colors is because I get darker in the summertime. So when I get darker, I use Toast, and my normal color is Golden Caramel. Now here's the thing, my face is darker than the rest of my body naturally, so that's why a lot of people think when I don't have makeup, they think I have foundation on because it doesn't match the rest of my body, but I don't. So make sure you match your foundation to your neck and not your face, because you know, like in the winter or whatever, or even in the summertime, the Toast matches my face but it doesn't match my neck, so I look really crazy. This is a matte foundation. I don't really have oily skin, so I don't know why I got this in for people with oily skin. I don't know, I just grabbed whatever, but I do like the matte finish that it gives me. But since I have like normal to combination skin, I like to put a luminizer in my foundation to give it kind of that satiny finish. So the one I use is the Buxom Divine Goddess Luminizer. And it looks like this. So basically what I do is I put half foundation and half luminizer. So let me show you how much I use for my face. I'm just going to be putting, let me see if you guys can see. Come out foundation. Okay, I'm going to be using like that much foundation. And then I'm going to mix some luminizer in there. I'm gonna be using like that much. Maybe that's a little less than half, but. And then I'm going to mix that around with my finger and blend it with a damp beauty blender. So you just want to make sure that they're really mixed. Oh, and I'm not going to be putting the foundation under my eyes because since this is a really drying foundation, I'm just going to put my concealer and a highlighter there. And if I put my foundation, it's just going to be too many layers. I'm just going to put this everywhere on my face except under my eye. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad, you guys. So I was doing my makeup and then my camera stopped recording. So basically I'm going to have to tell you what didn't get caught on camera. So after my foundation, I just used the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Biscuit, and I put that under my eyes. And then on top of that, I used my MAC Prep and Prime Highlight in the color Bright Forecast, and I put that in the inner corners of my eyes and down the bridge of my nose. And all this was blended with a beauty blender. And then I used the Buxom Luminizer. I put some down the bridge of my nose, and I just put some on the high points of my cheeks. And then I set it with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder and my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. This powder is so good, you guys. This is like, it feels like silk. I also used the Nicka HD Concealer in the color Fallow, and I applied that in the hollows of my cheekbones, and I blended it out with the Real Techniques buffing brush. So now I'm just going to take off this powder. And I'm using the ECLIPSE Kabuki brush. This came in their travel kit. I got this a few years ago, so the packaging might look different. And yeah, I'm just gonna wipe all of that off. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of this down the bridges, the sides of my nose, just a little bit. Literally like that, like just a little bit, because if you use too much, it can get muddy. And then, you know, your nose just looks all discombobulated. Next, I'm gonna be using my Anastasia, I don't know, her contour kit. And I usually use this shade to contour, but whenever I do wear foundation, like I said, it's usually for a special event, so I'm gonna go with the darkest shade. And I'm going to be using my Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm just going to go over, you know, the hollows of my cheeks, the bridge of my nose, and everywhere that I put that Nicka concealer. Putting some of that around my forehead and on my jawline, just to kind of make it look kind of less chubby down here and the forehead a little bit smaller. For my nose, I'm going to be using this cool shade in the middle, and I'm going to be using my e.l.f. defining brush. And I'm just going to put some of that down the sides of my nose. To highlight a little more, of course, I'm going to be using my Mary-Lou-Manizer by the Balm. This is like my favorite highlighter of life. It's super, super pigmented, but it's not for people who kind of, you know, don't like that dramatic look, unless you are super, super light-handed. So I'm going to be using my ECLIPSE. I think this is the blush brush from their travel kit. And I'm just going to be putting some on the high cheeks, on the high points of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, and I'm going to be putting some on the inner corners of my eyes and under the arch of my eyebrows. For the inner corners of my eye and under my eyebrows, I'm going to be using these two little brushes from Equal Tools. This is the flat, this is like a concealer brush, and then this is just maybe like, I don't know, a precision brush or something. And I'm going to be applying it with the flat brush and blending it with the fluffy brush. So to pull them together, I'm going to be putting some blush. I'm going to be using the Blush 2 palette from Colorstay, and I'm going to be using, which color? This color right there, that pinky color. And to apply that, I'm going to be using my Sigma large angled contour brush. And I'm just going to put some of that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm going to apply a little more lip gloss. I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals. This is the Marvelous Moxie lip gloss. And it is in the shade Live Wire. Lastly, to set my entire face, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set Spray. And that is it, guys. This is how I do my foundation and my highlight and contouring. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Go say some, don't you niggas play dumb, you know where